What is up, my Gaggle of Geeks, and welcome this morning to another episode. We're going to be talking about not a lot. We were just saying there's not really a lot happening this week. I am, of course, joined by my co-host Cole. How's it going, man?
Hello. It's going well.
Oh, man, I always want to get to the applause, but now that I'm sitting closer than I'm usually, there we go. Now I can see it. I have to like start in between 5 different things.
I'm not above tooting my own horn. It's fine.
Well, what can we you've got so much stuff going on this week already. You're here now. We were talking yesterday, like what should we even do? And I think I was pretty exhausted as well. I was like, we'll figure it out when the episode comes.
We can always just talk movies. It doesn't have to be brand new stuff, right? Because there isn't a lot of brand new stuff. Well, Pixar's got a new movie, so we can talk Pixar. What's your favorite Pixar movie, Patrick?
Pixar movie.
1, 2, go. Best of all time.
We're starting off. Man, I thought I was doing good. Like I thought my brain was stimulated, ready to go. Now it's just dead.
Why is it turning red? I guess. Is the
yeah. I think Turning Red is really good. It is up there, good. But probably my favorite. Toy Story 2. I don't know.
Strong.
Yeah.
See, I'm a 3 guy myself, but they're all 3 Toy Stories like take up the top 5. And then WALL-E and Soul, I think, are both amazing.
I watched when I had my wisdom teeth taken out. I went to Toy Story 3 to the theater and just laughed my ass off when they were like going into the furnace.
Yeah, that was probably a unique experience for everyone else at your theater.
The kids were happy. I'll say that. Like it changed the whole dynamic of the show. Everybody felt like it was more of a roller coaster ride, and I don't remember anything about it. This is kind of like the fever dream that I was in watching it. Yeah. But I had bought a ton of sweets, and then I just went straight into there. So that's me and
Toy
my
Story
dental
3
history.
Came out the summer after I graduated high school and was getting ready to go to college. So in the same life position that Andy was in, I was giving up on my childhood. I was feeling all those feelings. And my one friend was like, he was slightly older than me, was so into Toy Story. He had like a Woody tattoo. And he said like, hey, I'm super pumped. I'm going to see Toy Story. And someone who I didn't even know had commented on his little Facebook post because it was 2010 and that was our main form of communication. That like all the toys die in a fiery grave. And I was like, haha, that's a funny joke.
It's dark.
And then they start going down into like the thing. I was like they're gonna die in a fiery grave.
Yep, they're doing it. Crying. They did the thing. I don't know. It didn't affect me as much because I think at that point I had aged up to the point where the thing that affected me most was Andy giving up his toys. That's where it broke me the most.
Also bowling.
And that's I have a coined term that I use with Pixar films. They kick you in the tearsticles.
Yeah.
It's never good, and it always comes out of nowhere too. It's just pop, and then you're done. But before we get much more into Pixar stuff, let's go with...
It's Gaggle of Geeks. What are you geeking about?
Do you like murder docuseries things?
Absolutely.
There's this new one that's called, I think, Worst Roommate Ever. That's out on Netflix. Have you been watching it?
No, but I saw it on Netflix and passed by like I do most of the things.
It is messed up.
Okay.
Like 100%. This shows you like, well, you have this experience right now because you have roommates. Do you have any that you don't have to name them? Or I'm sure they're watching it, but yeah, I've had horrible roommate experiences.
No,
and these are like the worst of the worst in some instances. Like people that are going to murder you or like,
that would be the worst.
Or that are,
or that leave their knife out on the counter right after they buttered some bread.
Yeah, or like
those are
the tenants that won't leave and that don't pay rent and that somehow legally are still allowed to kind of like do whatever, as a squatter or something. It's intense, but there's I think 3 or 4 stories and all super interesting. And it's a cool angle because you don't think about like that being used as like a dramatic kind of...
So is it
thriller?
Are they telling true stories or is it fiction?
Oh yeah, it's true accounts of people that had to deal with just bad roommates or bad situations.
Kind of thing.
What?
Anthology series kind of thing? Like each episode's a different story, or is it the same?
Oh yeah, they're different people, different experiences, and then they just cover what happened to it. But that's a strong recommend. I went through that pretty quickly too. But what about you? What have you been geeking about?
So this week, my fiance and I finished Survivor season 1. I've
Good
gotten
morning,
her,
Jay.
onto that train, and she's finally completed her first season of Survivor. So I spent the morning trying to Google which season we go to next, because 2 and 3 are both still kind of slow. I don't want to jump all the way to an All Stars or a Heroes versus Villains kind of thing, but
Mhm.
we want to go sort of chronologically. Anyway, that's what Survivor. You a big reality TV? You get in on those trains?
We could definitely get into reality TV
You wanna
talk.
do a
Like that could
Bachelor
take up
cast
the
whenever that
entire
comes
hour.
back?
You see, here's the thing. Now that I do my promotions producer job at ABC4, I make the Bachelor promos and send them out.
Oh.
It's not necessarily like you're cutting from all of their raw footage and stuff.
But
They send
stick,
you
like,
a
lower
pre-cut.
third on it.
Well, they send, yeah, pretty much. They send you a pre-cut thing. You make sure that the audio level isn't insane and that it doesn't end on a black screen, basically.
Yeah.
And then shoot that up the ladder so that the people in the engineer booth can press the button, and that will do what it needs to do.
Someone's got to do it.
It's a lot of code you have to remember, just like different alternate names to stuff. So
Get
weird.
the metadata right.
But
Industry stuff.
But it's not bad. I guess that's another thing I've been geeking about. I got to do the Oscar promo.
Aha.
And that was very much more of like you are the creative on this, so you get to go and do stuff. So I worked with one of the head anchors. We filmed all this stuff on a green screen. So it was my first time like trying Premiere on a green screen too. So it was it was a little bit daunting. Like anybody that does Premiere, and I'm sure a lot of people now are like, this guy hasn't done Premiere until he got a job. How did that
Final
work?
Cut, man.
I don't know how that worked, but they have so many different options that just Final Cut does not have. And when you see the options, for me, I am way overstimulated by like 50 different ways to do something.
Yeah.
It ended up working itself out pretty well though. I like the promo.
Cool.
You could check it out if you watch ABC4.
Plug.
Yeah, I plan when those things come out. But is there any other things that we're geeking
So
about
Oscars
this
are
week?
still like 2 weeks away, right? We don't have to talk Oscars today.
I believe it's in 2 weeks.
I watched Power of the Dog this week. I'm not geeking about
okay.
that.
No, you didn't like it? Okay, are you what
whatever.
kind of you didn't like it? Are you like
No, I was
Sam, what's his name? Sam what is it? Sam Elliott.
But
yeah, that guy.
It wasn't special. Like I have seen that Western.
you face.
That's what he was saying about the director. What the
How
crap?
dare a woman try to direct a Western? They
Oh, my
weren't there
goodness. Right.
in the 1800s when I was.
That guy. And it's funny because I don't think he's going to get a lot of flack for this. I think it's already pretty much over by this point.
Yeah.
But he used a lot of expletives. Like he
just how-
really went for it with it.
Yeah.
He
Sam
really
Elliott's
should be
good for a
canceled for it.
quote.
But you didn't like it just because it was what were you expecting from it? Was it an expectations thing or
No, it was just okay. So I'm not a big fan of like Oscar-y movies. I never have been. And so every year there's like 2 or 3 that are just like, oh yeah, that's like probably technically sound, but the story doesn't do anything for me. The actors were subdued, I guess, and that's a
Benedict
choice.
Cumberbatch
and,
is
like,
terrifying in that.
yeah, I mean, I understand why he was nominated for Best Actor. I liked Andrew Garfield better. But yeah, Benedict might win.
Well, that's the thing. I think you can't do that to me. You can't invoke Andrew Garfield's name and not have me because I'm on the
you're
other
on my side.
Well, I'd rather defend Andrew in any
That's right.
situation.
That's right.
But I'm defending Power of the Dog still being a good movie. Not an Oscar bait.
We haven't talked about that. Like
an Oscar bait film to me feels like it's manufactured drama.
period drama.
No,
With a bunch of
manufactured drama.
superstars.
Much like how some
and-
animated films that aren't really geared towards any audience but knows how to emotionally manipulate you. That's how they do it. But if it's properly built right and it's a story that maybe yes falls into the same bucket as what an Oscar nominated category or a picture could be, that's one thing. But then there's stuff like what was Ridley Scott's film that the counselor,
Not House of Gucci.
no, it was
Last
the
Duel?
counselor. No, it was Closer. I think it was Closer.
Oh,
There's those
okay,
movies, or
yeah,
there's
sure.
Green Book, where it's like, okay, this is clearly not moving the needle in any way. It's
Shakespeare
only
in
meant for
Love, Green Book,
Exactly.
Crash. Yeah, those are the like melodrama Oscar ones, and then there's the based on a true story Oscar ones like American Sniper, Theory of Everything. That again just do not do anything for me.
Man,
This one
what
was
is with
certainly
films
like-
and using fake babies? What is it? What is that? Did you know that they had animatronic version of the baby in Twilight for the 4th film?
Oh yeah, anyone that saw the fourth one could tell.
But they
that
made
that
it
movie-
involve digital in the movie. So if you watch the movie, you only think that it's a digital thing.
Oh, and
But they had an
oh,
animatronic practical
brain
effect
didn't
baby
click.
that looked
Okay.
absolutely horrifying.
Yeah, all right.
It's like if they made Grogu but a baby. Like that doesn't translate. That doesn't translate at all.
Uncanny it was. So yeah, I mean, it was just. I was gonna say you don't rank your movies, like you just kind of give stars, right?
I put letterboxd rankings out and
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, so every
when I
year-
know that it's something that put your shekels out to the Twitter gods.
Oh,
All right,
no,
here's my
I mean, like a
letterboxd
whole
ranking.
2021, like all 100 movies that I saw that were released that year, kind of.
I haven't gone down that road. I've done top 10s.
That's fine.
Top 10s.
So
are
Power
probably
of
the
Dog
worst.
was not in your top 10.
I don't remember.
It was
You're
sitting
gonna
like
make-
20. I don't know. It's in the 20s, 30s. For it was just a fine. Yeah, it's good, but I don't care kind of movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I get why it's nominated. Other movies in my top 10, I guess I understand why they weren't.
Well, I just think that it's not necessarily meant to like not do anything. Like it's a very interesting film, and when you know the twist, right? Like you follow. That was the other
watched
thing
it.
that I'm asking you that because many people leaving the theater with me, I had to explain it to them, and they go, "What? That's not how I got that at all." I was like, "You didn't catch that?" And so the nuance of that, it's not hitting you over the head. It's a very subtle like
Sure,
twist.
It's
That
better than your average, but I put it.
Kirsten Dunst, I
I
think,
don't
was really good in it too.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Jodie Smith McPhee.
It was my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th. And you were on the show where we did the top 10.
Yeah, but we had 3 different top 10s, and I hadn't seen Power of the
forgot.
Dog at the time. And, like, I think Pig was in Chaz's top 10. I have seen Pig since we did our top 10. Pig is also in my top 10 now. Loved that
That's
movie.
good. Well, and I think Coda's moved up in his, and I'm just so proud of him for liking Batman so much. Oh, I don't know if you noticed. Did you see the poster by you?
Dun, dun, dun.
I didn't do this because I wanted to mess with you or anything. I did it because
Is it in the background of my shot? Go to my one shot.
Yeah, it's in
Okay.
yours.
So I
I've
stand
got
in
Dark
front
Knight,
of Batman.
you've got
That
Batman.
makes- all right.
Mhm.
So next week we're gonna switch these because
If you have a look, here's the thing. I think we're due for a switch up, and we could get tons of these kind of poster things and switch them out and do different stuff. I want a Scott Pilgrim versus the World one.
ooh,
And that's that can be a tie-in to we're not geeking about anything anymore, really. What did we start with?
Obi-Wan.
We started with reality TV. We weren't
That's what I was geeking about.
we got on such a big tangent with this. Oh man.
We can geek about
yeah.
Obi-Wan.
Well, James, you changed James. Jimothy. I'll change it to Jimothy. Jay. His name, he goes by Jay for what I know. He's talking about 90 Day Fiance. And I think you watch 90 Day, do you not? 90 Day Fiance.
See, I'm not caught up on current stuff. I've
we
just
can
gone
talk
back
about
and
this a little bit. They put out the new trailer for the next. It's just the regular 90 Day Fiance.
Okay.
Do you watch the regular? Like, how deep are you into that
So,
rabbit hole?
I
Are you
have
watching Darcy and Stacy? Like, are you like Family Chantel? Which I hope no one's.
I went back and
Family Chantel.
watched like one of their first seasons, I think, and then like I realized, oh, they have this whole thing.
Mhm.
But
They have more characters than the
I'm not
Marvel
following
Cinematic Universe.
They-
They
90 Day.
truly do, and like I think they're way more diverse. You've got Big Ed, the one that puts mayonnaise in his hair and stuff, and you've got well, it's kind of funny. The subreddits for these places are disgusting. Like they're just a bunch of heathens that
so it's right.
half are virtue signaling these people that like I just got out of prison and I'm gonna go to Cuba to meet my love. Like, you really think that guy's gonna not be saying some racist, horrible stuff on Twitter in his past that nobody looked at? And like, it's weird for them to like hold these people to these standards when you're watching them because they're kind of dirtbags.
We used to understand
you
that
want to see
reality
love,
TV
like, but nobody's watching that
was
for like
dumb.
a actually working relationship.
No.
They want to see the chaos. They want to see Paul sprinting away while Kareen's about to get chopped with a machete. And by the way, finding about their situation now, don't even Google it. Don't Google that stuff. It's upsetting, and you won't like it. There's so many ones in prison now. Like there's so many crazy people on the show. It's weird to be like, yeah, but like, where do you stand on Chick-fil-A? Like, it's a weird dynamic. But do you anything? What's your stuff with 90 Day?
I've
You don't have
watched it a few
favorites? You just watch.
No, yeah.
Jeez.
It was a group thing.
You didn't watch
right?
Anfisa's character?
No.
Anfisa, dude, she's dope. We have so many quotes that we throw out in this family. Like, it's a staple for us.
Also, like I watched like a season of 90 Day and a series of Married at First Sight, like back to back with the same group of people. And honestly, I still have to like remember which one is which in my brain because they just like blend. It was like all in one week where we just railed 2 straight seasons of 2 different shows. So like,
Have you heard of Love
good.
After Lockup?
No. That's my next one.
Dude,
All
it's
right.
insane.
All right.
These people are like, my name's Mayonnaise. I just served 18 months for like, it's never a violent crime. It's always something like, I robbed a bank with a toothpick.
And they caught me somehow.
But Janelle still loves me. And she's like, she has 3 kids already and like can't see them, like isn't allowed to see them. And it's a nightmare. Like people get married right off the bat. It's always the one consistent thing with that show is that they always go for sex right after they're out of prison. That's like they don't even get to a place. They're like back of the car.
Sometimes reality
these
TV
filmographers,
is true to reality.
God bless these cameramen. They film it all. Like
Oh.
it doesn't cut away, and that we have to turn away. Like we have to edit it ourselves because it's just horrifying. That's your plug for Love After Lockup.
Artistic.
Too. Let's talk about Turning Red. Yeah. Let's transition over to. Well, I guess we have. Should we do Obi-Wan first?
Yeah, because that's a geek. Like we're geeking about.
Let's talk about Obi-Wan.
More Star Wars.
So Obi-Wan trailer dropped. I made you watch it. You have a thing about trailers where you don't want to watch ones that you
trailers
like.
For things that I want to like. Obi-Wan, I think that I will like it, so I don't want to be spoiled. It was a tasteful, spoiler-free-ish. Like we saw
Typically,
the main
first trailers
I
don't
guess.
hurt too much nowadays. It's when you get into like the TV spots and like the second and third trailer, like Super Bowl halftime, so special,
and it's like a 2-minute clump.
We got to show you something because we've put out the 5th trailer at this point, and now people are getting angry about things. But God bless some of them, like No Way Home. Most all the trailers hid the 3 Spider-Man. Right. There was only just an accidental thing.
There were 3 Spider-Man in No Way Home.
Well, the super sleuth people when they were zooming in on the lizard getting kicked in the face. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
See,
or like when the 3 villains were coming through the skyline, like against the Statue of Liberty, they were like, they look like they're looking in 3 different directions. Right. Oh, maybe that, and then they were actually right about that. So whatever.
Which was the movie? I think it was. Isn't Titanic spoil that he dies or something in the end?
Their
trailer spoils something.
Was not watching
massive.
trailers in 1997.
I read some Screen Rant makes any article that you could possibly imagine. Yeah. So if you're just like, what were the 90s trailers like? There's probably 20,000 articles that they've already written.
Okay. In a world.
Yep.
That's what they're like.
Oh yeah, the pitch meeting for the Batman came out. Do you like pitch meeting?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Look, I will always acknowledge flaws with movies, and the Batman has a many, but I still love it. Like, there's nothing that'll stop me from being like this. There
was a time in my like movie watching fandom where I was really into like every single honest trailer, every single how it should have ended, every single like number of things wrong, everything wrong with whatever in how many minutes. And I just don't.
Yeah, CinemaSins have gotten old. I definitely am not.
They were hilarious. They got big for a reason.
I think my wife wants to break my phone every time she hears that ding. Yeah, like it gets upsetting.
Now.
It gets upsetting. But turning no, not turning red. Obi-Wan, he's back, baby. Our Jedi Jesus has returned on the McGregor. 2 Rising Suns, and he's sad. We got sad Obi-Wan in this.
He just watched all of his family and friends murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Failed with Anakin.
Okay.
Now he's got to deal with this stupid kid sitting on a roof pretending to pod race. Yeah. If I were watching, I'd be like, is this the brightest kid that we need to monitor? Like, am I dedicating all my life to watching?
Anakin was better.
I get so bored. I don't know if I can do this. But he looks defeated, and like the Inquisitors are back. And we didn't even talk about the controversy with that. So there is a bit of controversy with this. If you haven't checked out the trailer for Obi-Wan and you don't want to be spoiled, there's some spoilers right now that we're going to talk about, I suppose.
But it's not that bad.
The Inquisitors that show up from Rebels and from Clone Wars, I believe, maybe possibly, are appearing in this. They are the same race of aliens that are on Geonosia, I think,
Okay.
that have the white lines and have big cone heads, right?
Mhm.
Now that cone is big, right?
Yeah.
Trailer does not show a cone head. It shows a very like flat, like round. I know.
That's the controversy.
That's the controversy.
You teased
Here's the thing.
controversy. I
Here's
thought
the
someone said something racist on like Tatooine Twitter or something like that. Like,
Oh,
what are we-
I'm sure there's ways to. Let's talk about the Tusken Raiders, shall we?
Okay.
The allegories that they have there. I think there's a little bit of an understanding with it, but there's also just a lot of. Can you just shut up about everything that you're complaining about right now? Like the stuff that's happening in the world. This is the big complaint that we're gonna really like attack this on.
Mhm.
They also did this with Boba Fett. Did you watch the Boba Fett series?
I haven't finished it. I watched the first episode.
Oh, okay. Well, there's another character that's coming from the animated series.
Right.
And that transition, they said, his nose is a little bit different. It's not the right shade of blue. But the way I see it, like, I don't know, Count Dooku looked completely different in real life versus whatever the heck that animated. Like, he looked just like an eraser that got smushed by a hydraulic press. It didn't look like him at all. Yoda never looks like Yoda. In every iteration, he does not look like Yoda, right? Last Jedi, he looked a little bit more like he ate a lot of chili. You know what I mean? Like he got stung by a bunch of bees on his mouth.
Yeah.
And then you have the weird, kind of young, but somehow older looking Yoda from Phantom Menace that was the animatronic before they jumped to the regular digital that I think most people
Where he
just
could do
accept
flips.
now.
Flip, flip, flip,
Yeah,
flip,
the
flip,
yep,
flip,
the
flip,
P that's a gymnast.
yeah, that's
But I think it's much to do about nothing.
so. You
We don't
you
even
haven't
know.
actually you haven't watched any Clone Wars. I've watched
I've
little
watched
bit of
episodes,
Clone
but I've not enough to like
Okay.
be able to. I know who Rex is.
Does,
I
like,
know.
Does
you know,
the animation style though of Clone Wars Rebels does that turn you off?
it
Does
doesn't
it-
resonate with me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not
It's-
really one that I'm into.
it's unique, and I like that we're trying different things. But I remember when it was first happening, I was like, oh, it's just like they did cheap animation for like a Disney thing, like a whatever.
It felt cheap.
And now
when it
that
first
now I
came out,
realize
didn't
that
it?
there's people that like really defend it as a style, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it became the Star Wars style because it was cheap, right?
And I
Like,
have watched. Don't get me wrong.
so
I've
we
also
don't have
watched
to
clips.
match. We don't have to match like the real life version to like what we distorted in that specific animation.
Here's one thing that I'm a little
Rebels
bit concerned
especially,
with is
much
that there's
worse.
a lot of canon that is expanded out with these animated shows.
Uh-huh.
How much are they going to explore when it comes to live action? Because Maul and him have another fight.
Yep.
There's a lot to say about that. Maul was introduced in Solo,
I mean,
but
Rebels,
this is still taking
Rebels
place
gives us
far
one
after
more,
he's already killed.
like the
Maul.
conflict between Obi-Wan and Anakin. Like
Mhm.
we know that Hayden Christensen's showing up at some point in Obi-Wan, but it's not going to be their big fight because we already saw that in Rebels.
I hear there's multiple fights,
All right.
and there might be a few. And Hayden Christensen this week, a few days ago, said expect a very powerful Darth Vader.
Yeah, all right.
And if that means you're stopping the Star Destroyer with your hands, that's what I'm into. I'd like to see that.
Okay.
What, you don't think it's possible?
I mean,
This
I
is
think
like
that he has
this is
to
like
say
the
it.
big flex that they could do
This
is make
is-
the prequels palatable. That's kind of what this is, right?
This is like leading up to
redemption.
Batman. They
This
were
is-
like,
this
"Oh,
is
you're not
Rocky-
going to believe how gritty
This is
that
Rocky 2,
opening
baby.
is."
This is Rocky 2. They're coming back up and they're gonna get them. Like, I don't know who them are. Us. They're gonna get us.
Yeah.
They're gonna prove all of us wrong. They're gonna make Jar Jar the best character. They're gonna bring him back. They're gonna do all the things, right?
Okay.
The Inquisitors looked pretty cool. I don't think they were a big deal. I do think that they have yellow eyes in the Sith movie, so there are a lot, and in the animated. So this one doesn't have like that Sith eye thing.
Okay.
I like that Sith eye thing, to be fair, and I would like to see more of that.
Okay.
You don't like that?
I'm colorblind. I don't know what anyone's eyes color.
So you have no
Yes.
idea what colors these are that are.
No.
This is this makes this whole thing so silly now. How wait? So
Oh, we're
it's
doing
just black and white.
Well, no, I mean that's reddish orange, right? And that's blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
It's like I can get context clues, right? Like I know Batman's red. Could be green, but like I'm pretty sure Batman is red.
You mean the outfit is red?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the outfit's red. It was at
His
the beginning.
pink outfit. from-
But I'm excited for it. I think we got a lot of potential. Do you see Dexter Jetster showing up again?
Oh, hopefully.
What do you know? He just shows up.
Oh.
I'd like to see that. Joel Edgerton is going to be Uncle Ben, or yeah, he has an Uncle Ben, right?
Ben Kenobi is Ben.
Who's the guy that Uncle Owen?
Uncle Owen and
Owen Lars or something.
Veru.
Aunt Veru.
Veru.
Yeah.
Meh.
Man, we're gonna feel real bad when they turn into skeletons after this one. Like we're actually gonna get a good character arc and backstory with them that will make us actually care. That was still messed up as a kid to watch that and be like, all right, they just murdered those two lovely people.
Yeah,
now we go on an adventure.
I don't think any of that.
What's the runtime on this?
watched.
That was a Bambi's mom moment, but
But
a
no
little
one
bit
cared.
less. Yeah, we
Yeah.
cared less because it was all spaceships. And how is that land speeder flying the way it is?
Yeah.
Mirrors, people, mirrors. Anything else about the Obi-Wan trailer?
Nah. I'll watch. Like, I still got to get caught up on the rest of Boba Fett and this. I never finished Bad Batch either. Like, I'm episode 3 or so into that one. The one once a week kind of thing worked for me for Mandalorian because I was way into that one. But the ones that don't have me all the way in, you lose me because I get hyped and then I lose track.
Yeah, I get that way too with these.
Netflix figured it out. You drop everything. And let
Netflix
people-
hasn't figured it out. They are like they've turned to garbage a little bit, in my opinion, in a lot of ways.
They still just release it all at once, though. That's
Yeah, but that's the problem. You can't. It's like when you get put into those. Have you ever seen those chambers that have a wind turbine and then dollars shoot up and you have to catch it all?
Yeah,
That's what they do, but for their content. And there's just no possible way to be able to get everything, catch everything all in one thing. It's just impossible. Like the upkeep for it, and they keep shelling it out over and over and over, and eventually you start dipping in quality because you're not really you're not watching it as much. And that's my issue. They've got plenty of gems, like real good gems, like Power of the Dog. We were just talking about it, how much I love that.
Yeah, Oscar. I mean, Tick Tick Boom, my favorite of the year, was also
it's also on our favorites. But they also did He's All That.
Which
She's All That, sorry.
No, He's All That.
He's All That.
The new one is He's All That.
And what was the other one? That Pinocchio movie's coming out, starring Pauly Shore voicing Pinocchio. Have you seen a trailer for it? It's terrifying, dude. It's absolutely terrifying. There's just we can talk about what they were doing with some of like apparently
that is a Mad Lib is actually a comparison you're trying to make there. Like, let's make a Pinocchio movie animated starring the voice of
that's a Cards Against
Pauly
Humanity drop that you can play and
What
like
the
maybe
heck?
win. Like that one or Hitler will win.
Yeah,
If you put that down for a Pinocchio
Spontaneous
thing.
combustion.
Who's Geppetto? What? Isn't Pinocchio German too? Isn't that a
Geppetto? No,
yeah,
it's
where
Italian.
are they from? Italian. Oh, okay.
That's-
Meh. Weren't they both? Yeah, they were both doing stuff,
in Europe.
doing bad things.
Yeah,
Yeah, stupid people.
comes out right after the Mussolini animated movie.
Yeah. We're gonna
what's
have
our
one
next
person.
thing?
We're gonna
What's
have
our
one
next
person
thing?
show up and be like, "Oh, what are we talking about here?" And then, like spend the rest of we didn't sit in comment. It was just from the Obi trailer. Oh yeah, Obi-Wan trailer was great, man.
Yeah,
we really liked it. Well, I really liked it. Jeez, you always catch me off guard. You can't just like agree with me in the time that it's needed.
Nope.
Like I loved it too. Meh. Oh yes. Well, should we talk about? You haven't seen Turning Red,
No, I haven't.
so we don't really need to talk about it. We've been teasing it the
That's
whole time.
what I mean. That's
It's
what I kinda
good.
said.
You should.
Like Pixar.
It's good, and it's
Okay.
not unrelatable. I don't know what that one critic was talking about by saying, I am a middle-aged man who likes grilled cheese. I can't relate to this show."
We could just not give him any more attention by not talking about him.
That doesn't give the views, baby. That doesn't get the view. We're in the views business, so we have to talk about
And
it.
so was
Oh,
he
and
when
that-
he
and that I
concocted
won.
that stupid take.
I beat you.
What'd you beat me at?
I beat you with the Batman box office.
It hasn't hit $1 billion yet
No, I told you it was going to hit over 100 mil.
in its first weekend. You're right. Yeah.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And it was like 125,
Very good.
123.
Yes. I'm excited, but I do worry about
I was
second
firm
week
that
dip.
it would not. Yeah, I do. I
It's
still don't
3
think
hours.
It's, gonna get to
It's a lot, but and it's not. It's very rewarding in a lot of ways, but not necessarily in like a theme park thing.
Avengers,
You know,
like
I
an
know, I got
MCU
someone
movie.
mad with that.
Scorsese, come on.
I just like little jabbing every once in a while. I
agree.
love Endgame. I
I'm
love it.
good with
It's
that.
great.
I saw Endgame a couple times in theaters, right? I have seen Batman once.
I've seen it twice, and it
So-
holds up second time. It still doesn't feel like it's slow or anything. You're still into everything, even though the mystery behind it. You're like,
that's fine.
this is fun.
Good.
But I thought it would be a cool idea for us, at least just to wrap up this episode of really, we covered a lot for not having anything to talk about.
Yeah.
Like we ended up covering quite a
tend
bit.
to do that.
But it's time that me and you get to know each other a little bit more on a
This is
cinephilic
what I'm ready for.
level.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Because we still don't. Like, I know that you like the Batman because it's come out since we've been doing this podcast. But
There's
like,
no way that you could tell that I like the Batman.
no way.
Yeah.
No way. I mean, we've like briefly touched on like other Oscars stuff. Like, I've hit your top 10 of just this year, but like, I still don't have a good feel of your style, like what your movies are. So let's do this.
Well, it's gonna be interesting because I'm sure we'll have a lot more pauses than I figured we would in
That's
this, because these are a lot of interesting ones. So here's what our disclaimer can be for the folks at home, so that it doesn't seem like we have to like be on pressure for it.
Mhm.
First film that comes to your mind.
Yeah.
So even if it ends up being wrong,
That's fine.
we're just gonna say it anyway. So
Yeah.
we could be completely wrong about what we're doing and what we're saying, but if this is
Let's
just
see
how
what
we're going,
happens.
this is how we're doing this. So first question is for Cole.
Okay.
And we'll just alternate. You just take one, you'll take two, I'll take 3, 4. We'll just switch back and forth.
Okay.
So if they made a movie of your life, what would it be about, and which actor would you want to play you?
What would it be about? It would be about my life, I guess. Hopefully, here's what it is. I want.
That's a dumb question. Like, what movie best represents your life? Is that better?
Oh no, that'd be
worse.
Much harder.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. No, give me some like old guy, because I want the coolest thing in my life to have happened. Like, not yet, right? I've seen my life so far, so nothing movie worthy has happened yet. And so, give me like Michael Caine playing me in 40 more years, and let's say I do something spectacular when I'm 70.
I could see an aged Mark Ruffalo.
Oh,
I think that could work pretty well.
I'll take Mark Ruffalo.
All right, what's the?
Give me an aged Paul Rudd, actually.
Oh, Paul.
if he ever
that could work.
ages.
That could work. All right, what do we have for number 2?
Patrick, what book or movie have you seen or read recently that you would recommend, and why?
Oh no,
Just a most
That's the
recent
stupidest-
recommendation.
Turning Red.
Okay.
All right, we got it. How do you feel about clowns? Are you a comedy fan? I did not pre-screen any of these questions.
Where'd
so
you get this list?
I
Just
don't know.
The
It's
internet.
it's the internet. Don't worry.
Have you
Don't
ever
worry
seen
about it.
Terrifier? Is it terrible? It was on Netflix for a little bit.
Does it kind of look? No, that's not Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space is different. Yeah. So
Okay.
Killer Clowns is a comedy, right? So are you a comedy fan? Yes. How do I feel about clowns? Love them. Love when they're a horror device. Love that like odd summer in like 2018 when people were actually dressing up as clowns and trying to spook people, and
Mhm.
big vibe. But Terrifier is my favorite like clown. I mean, Chapter 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not
Is my
mentioning
favorite clown.
like the biggest one.
That's
Clowns
are
are. I love clowns too. There you go.
oh, also Joker. Okay.
All right, what's
If you could see another movie again for the first time, what would it be and why?
I would watch The Lost World at the Ogden Planetarium. It was the first time I'd seen a Jurassic Park film in a theater, and I still like. I think it's kind of like you chase that first hit,
Mhm.
a lot. And I could probably say go back to The Dark Knight and watch that, or I could go. I don't know. The Pirates films hit real hard when they were in theaters, right? They were
Interesting.
really fun to watch, and like the first one was really cool.
I mean, the first one was amazing.
But yeah, that would be mine. Lost World. When I was a kid, just being like, holy crap. I can't remember how I felt about. I'm pretty sure I liked prequels, but it was also like I knew the wave of hate, and so I was very susceptible.
I
to
didn't.
just like,
I was just like, oh, these aren't as good as the 4, 5, and 6 that I've been watching on repeat in my living room. So,
All right. If you are asked to a list, okay, of your top 50 movies, what are some of the films that would make the list? So just list your 50 favorite movie.
Where's
what
Letterboxd
kind of
at, man?
question is that? All
no,
right,
I
we're
mean, off the
changing.
top of the dome, like 5, right? Like, 50-50 with Joseph Gordon-Levitt is one of my favorites. Up in the Air, George Clooney. Maltese Falcon for an old one. Definitely Psycho is a strong pick. I'm a big horror fan, so like in addition to Psycho, you get like.
Did you watch Fresh?
It Follows out there.
You haven't watched Fresh, right?
I have not yet.
Check that out on Hulu.
Yeah, it's the one where it's like the poster's just a hand, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
cool. Yeah. I talked about it yesterday on TV,
right on.
and if the middle-aged women watch that, they might hate me. It seems like a rom-com, and then it real turns on you. And I made sure to say that, like
Hitch is my favorite rom-com. Like I've got one in every
Hitch.
genre. I mean, The Dark Knight is maybe my favorite movie ever, but that's easy.
Yeah.
Nice. Some of them.
Well, that's not 50, Cole. That's not enough.
All right, let's keep
according to this list. All right, what is here we go.
If you have your own late night talk show, who would you invite as your very first guest and why?
Weird Al Yankovic.
So good.
Yeah, that's what I'd pick.
Dude, I'm going to a Weird Al show in June. He's coming to Salt Lake.
Is it the all original songs tour? That
he's bringing that back. Emo Phillips is opening, who also appeared in UHF with him.
It's funny because he just wrapped up what he's calling his Oscar bait film with Daniel Radcliffe. So they just wrapped filming on that. I love that man. Like I've seen him probably 6 or 7 times in concert.
Nice.
Growing up. So like that, if you could say what concert I could go back to, it would be going back to a Weird Al concert because he puts on a crazy show.
The very first set of lyrics that I had memorized, other than like little church songs that are only like 2 lines long or whatever, like Jesus Loves Me. But like the first song I ever had memorized as a small child was A Long, Long Time Ago in a Galaxy Far Away. Naboo was under an attack.
You remember? So you know the Running with Scissors album?
Yeah.
There's a song that I think it's called Albuquerque. It's just a self-narration of him telling a story about like his mom fed him sauerkraut and he hated sauerkraut every morning. And then he grew up and he went to a donut shop and he wanted a bear claw and they only had like something else. And it's a 10-minute song. I memorized the whole thing in elementary school, and I made the whole class sit and just listen to me. I'm like, they wanted to stop. All of them were like, I'm not done yet. We're 8 minutes into this.
I'm not done yet.
And I'm like, it wasn't even like I was singing on my own. I just played the CD. And I was like talking over it, like in a mumble rap.
The Food album was my very first CD. So I got the Food album and then Beach Boys Sound of Summer and then the Beatles 1. Those were the first 3 CDs I bought when I had my first portable CD player.
Nice.
And then the Remember the Titans soundtrack.
What vinyl would you get of Weird Al's?
I mean, the Food album just has like, because it's a compilation and because it has that like personal connection for me. I think that's it.
I'd probably go what's the Nirvana one?
Yeah, smells like Nirvana.
Yeah, smells like Nirvana. I'd go for that one. Because that's got the Like a Surgeon and like all of his I loved Amish Paradise. There was a VHS that had the 5 of his music videos, and I would just burn through that.
Last Weird Al take. I went to karaoke. UHF is great.
UHF.
Okay. Weird Al. We've been fighting so long to try to find one commonality. Like we do both love Batman, and yet we still have been arguing about it. Weird Al is the commonality. Weird Al. No, Amish Paradise. I went to a karaoke bar like a couple weeks ago. They have an option where you can turn the tempo up. And I blasted it to like 400% and still went through like every word of Amish Paradise.
Nice. That's intense.
That's my proudest moment as a person. Maybe we can make a movie about that and Daniel Radcliffe can play me.
Maybe we could talk to Weird Al Yankovic if we get to this year. Because we're going to go to the screener of it eventually. I don't know. It's coming on Roku TV. Who the hell do you have to contact in Roku?
I don't know.
Do you just kind of like...
Maybe I'll just go up to him after the
check
concert
your settings
and say, excuse me, Mr. Owl.
Yeah. I don't even... Roku TV. That's exactly where Weird Al would put his stuff. That's like the UHF of streaming channels.
That's a good TV. That is.
All right. Let's see. What was the last movie you watched at a theater?
Batman.
Nice. Yeah, you keep getting the easy ones.
Which would you like?
I'm going to do one more.
Okay.
All right. Which would you like better, A Quiet Night or a dine out and a movie? So a movie I think is included in
Quiet
both
Night
those.
and a movie on Netflix or dinner out and go to a movie.
Yeah.
I know that like in this industry, we're supposed to be fighting for the sanctity of the theater and the theatrical experience, but I'm okay with going to streaming because I watch a lot of my movies I'm more comfortable in the comfort of my own home.
Mm.
That's where I'm at.
I wonder, it would depend for me on like the film
Mhm.
and the restaurant. Like and the company, I suppose. Like, are you going alone to get food and then you're
honestly,
going to a theater,
my
or are you
dream-
on a date?
Deliver pizza to me and I fire up Netflix. That's the best there is.
Yeah. I don't know. And it also depends. Like, what if the movie is a really good movie, but you don't want to like overstuff yourself before you're going to,
Oh, and then
like,
like,
one of your
the rumblies hit like
Yeah, and
halfway
you have to
into
go
a
to the bathroom
3-hour
during-
freaking Batman
Yeah,
movie,
exactly.
and then like you're
So it's-
uncomfortable for the back half.
I don't know. I think the right mode for this would have to be somewhat hungry and indifferent about the movie. You don't want to hate this, but it's not. If it's your favorite, you're not going to want to load up on stuff and then go to this. If
I eat
anything,
before
you're going to want to
every movie.
pregame at home, then go to the premiere. Like, you want to be comfortable, get all the stuff that you want done, and then you can go.
Maybe it's just a cute little like 90-minute rom-com that you can like, even if the rumblies do start hitting, you go like it's a nice date with your wife, right? Like that's a nice thing, right?
Oh yeah.
What scene in a movie always gives you goosebumps?
What scene in the movie always gives me goosebumps? Sing Street has a scene that I always enjoy when he's doing the first song, and you see the band starting to learn their stuff, and it does that kind of rotation.
Dude,
Camera
Sing
work.
Street.
Yeah, I love Sing Street. It's
This
so
is why
good.
we're doing this.
I love movies with music.
Yeah.
Like, if I were to direct a film, it would be a movie with music like that.
That's awesome.
Like, I would definitely want it to be a bit of a stupid romance,
Mhm.
a romance it's not meant to be. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's almost stupid that they're even together to begin with. But you're still kind of like, yeah, but this works. Like, just let it work out. I really like Once too. Once was great.
Yeah.
Let's see. What other would be Goosebumps? Mad Max has so many. Like Mad Max Fury Road. Oh man, that thing hits all the time. What is your ultimate date movie? Is it Hitch?
You're skipping the one I want to answer.
Whoops.
It said something about a Christmas movie.
Let's see. Yeah. Do you have any Christmas movies that you watch every season? Which one?
The Muppet Christmas Carol is truly one of the greatest movies of all time.
Movies of all
holiday or not, that is one of my jams. That if I'm listing 50, genuinely Muppet Christmas Carol.
All right.
Like if
so
I kept
Christmas time, we're
going
gonna
on
have to
that
do something
stupid
about
50.
that then. Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
And I've
I
seen a
haven't
lot
it
of dang
before.
Christmas carols.
I've
Muppet
never
Christmas
seen,
Carol
is
the
it
greatest one.
Is it as true to the carol as
They literally are quoting Dickens. Like the Great Gonzo plays Dickens,
Yeah.
and he's reading from the book. I realized, so it took, I'd grown up with that when it came out, like the year I was born or the year before, something like that. Anyway, I've watched it literally every Christmas of my life.
Mhm.
And I just read the Christmas Carol, the book, the short story or whatever, for the first time like 3 or 4 years ago. And I was like, oh, I can quote this book because the Muppet Christmas Carol was so faithful.
All right.
It's
I
so good.
haven't been sold on it yet.
It's so good.
All right. Okay. It'll be one.
And it's
I'll do
not
it.
just
Jeez.
nostalgia. I've got a few like, oh, that was cute when I was a kid, or like, oh, that's cute because I remember being a kid. I defend the Muppet Christmas Carol as an adult, as a grown man, as a great movie.
All right. I'm in. Yeah.
What
I guess
is
you have to ask me this one?
Your ultimate date movie?
You see, now that's another question, right? Are you watching this movie to watch the movie?
So my first kiss with my now fiance came during He's All That, which we have already made fun of on Netflix.
No.
When the new version of Kiss Me came on, I leaned over and we kissed for the first time, and now I'm gonna marry that woman.
Okay, well, I won't play it during you saying you're gonna marry that woman, and congrats on that.
Because
I didn't want to announce that. I didn't know if it was like, I don't want to
Thanks.
take away your life moments.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's the perfect movie that is not good enough, and so that you just tune out halfway through, and then you can,
I have no clue what mine would be.
Netflix and chill, I think, is what the kids.
Well,
say.
that is one point, but it could also be like, because for
I
us,
don't want to miss
mine
a
and-
good movie.
Mine and
right?
Nat's
Like,
first movie that we watched was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Okay.
She fell asleep during it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like at 10:30, and like I thought she was so bored
Are you together so long that you saw it in theaters together, or did you like just
Yep,
watch it?
we're coming on 11 years
That's
of being
beautiful.
together. Mhm.
Cool.
Married, we're coming on 7, but I get it confused. I think this last week I was like, "Can you believe we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary?" She's like, "What are you talking about?" It's like they just seem to go together, right? But yeah, man. I don't know. March of the Penguins. If it's just a Netflix and chill, because there's cute penguins that
Yeah.
they can look at. And
I mean, I've also made.
I
out
don't know
to
if that's gonna
Happy
like
Feet
get them all
or Surf's Up.
excited for
Which one?
intercourse. March of the Penguins. That sounds
Morgan
terrifying.
Freeman's voice. Doesn't that turn everyone on?
That could work. Maybe like Blade.
Oh.
It's got that weird.
It's like all these
that weird
motherfuckers
sense.
trying to
Matrix
ice skate uphill.
Matrix Reloaded. Just repeat that Zion sequence. The dance party.
The rave.
Oh, we could just watch Borat, the hotel scene over and over. Now we're dipping into what the worst could be. Oh,
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Room. Do you have a passion for The Room
The Room.
with Tommy Wiseau?
I've seen it twice.
I've ordered his DVD and got the underwear with it. It was pretty awesome. His Tommy Wiseau line.
Okay.
They were cheap. I'm gonna say it. They ripped pretty quickly.
Honestly, I don't even remember the name of that James Franco movie that was
The Disaster Artist.
That's right.
Which turned
was
into
pretty
him in a lot of ways. He just turned into a disaster.
Franco
and
was a disaster.
disappeared. Sorry, you weren't in No Way Home. Let's see. What could movie theaters do to improve the experience of going there?
Yeah,
This is a
put
good
them in my
question.
living room so that I don't have to go there.
No, that's not a good one to. You can't answer it like that. You got to
Okay,
give
okay.
a real answer.
Have better movies that they're playing.
Oh my God, that's not it at all. What you're telling them the things that they can't control. Like what can they do with concessions? What can they do with like making? Can it be a massage chair? Can it be? Have you seen the theaters that are beds?
Honestly, I do not mind if I'm going to a theater, right? I can watch a movie from my bed, right? And that is how I would prefer to do it. But if I'm going to a theater, I don't even mind an uncomfortable chair, right? Sometimes the like big reclining ones, I don't need that, because if I'm going to a movie I'm serious enough to see in a theater, just like sit me upright and let me watch this giant screen.
Baby, want upright for watching.
I have fallen asleep in movies whenever it's too hot.
Because it's comfortable, and I don't
want that if I'm going to spend $10 for a ticket, right?
I would like to see a stir fry situation. I think that could be fascinating.
And I don't want too much food.
What if they did stir fry and watch a movie?
Okay, I can do that from my house. That's what I do like doing. I don't want too much food.
Show.
I don't want.
I think restaurants need to bring in theaters, like home theaters that you can send your kids into, and then the adults can actually dine and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have kids. I don't care, but make my dining experience better. The kids are gone. Yeah.
Kids are cute. I like kids.
They're loud, bro.
I like.
Put them in a theater. Let them chill there. But really, that you gotta give us a better one. How about this? Security.
I don't mind like phone people in theaters either.
Oh, okay. You've ruined the Weird Al credit that I gave you. Maybe a little of the Sing Street.
The theater
You're
is
cool
not
with people just on their phones in
the
theaters?
theater is not a chapel to me. It doesn't.
It
have
is
to be,
a chapel. Oh my God. Well, what is this?
I prefer watching movies at my house, and at my house you can pull out your phone if you're bored halfway through a movie.
That's true. But are you trying to create an immersive experience in it? And are you communally making sure that everybody's watching the film?
There are certain movies where that demands it, right? I remember, and the community comes to. It's more beautiful. I don't want it policed. It's more beautiful when I want people
to comment on this. If this is a bigger down the middle thing, and there's actually a lot of people on his side, I need to know, because I have had encounters with people with serious I've gone above and beyond to tell people to shut up.
Here's the thing. When the movie does enough to demand it, then people follow suit.
I've shushed a baby.
You're an evil person.
No, they're evil for bringing that kid in.
The first time I saw
at 10 p.m.
The first Quiet Place, not part 2, the better one. There were people at the beginning of the movie, rustling candy, eating popcorn, doing what you normally do in a movie.
That's fine.
Literally 4 minutes in, the full theater had altogether just gotten silent for this movie because it demands it.
Yeah,
if
some people don't care about that.
Freaking
some
dog
with
Channing Tatum
and they're
at
man, it's so
afternoon.
quiet in here. oh, what are you doing, Bethany's? Quit crinkling that. Do you want to go to the car?
No, it's so much more
Or
beautiful
like-
when everyone
or
agrees to do it
The
without.
completely checked out mom that just has a full iPad for their kid to play on.
That's fine.
Or no, it's
Not-
what are you talking
Not in a
about?
quiet place, but like
If it's in a
just
kids movie, that's
theater.
understandable. If it's in the Batman, it's not understandable.
The Batman is a
you
big
need-
blockbuster
need
where you
security.
have to
And this is
drag
where I'm rounding out my
people.
point that this is a good one. You need security to be able to monitor that. If you're in a theater
I don't care.
and it's like, dude, I'm like Alamo Drafthouse level of serious about that.
Then go to Alamo Drafthouse where they do have
I
that.
had a, what was it? Which one was it? I think it was Detroit. That was my biggest encounter with someone. There's these two old ladies in the back that were just like, BLM. I'm so tired of this BLM stuff. This was the movie Detroit, starring John Boyega. Like, this was not the time or the place to be doing it.
Yeah.
And they were like, Obama. And I just look back and how are they talking at a normal volume? So I went to the back and I was like, there's just people that are just like going, like they're just talking and like, can they stop? And so the manager's like, oh, yeah, we'll come and listen. And they came in and they were like, they're louder than the freaking movie. Holy crap. So they came in and they told them no. And for like 10 minutes, they were just glaring at me. We were the only people in the theater. Out of respect. And you're sitting here like, they have a right to do that. Nah, you can't go to you can't be nude in a grocery store. And that's what that is, doing that in the theater. You're walking around naked, you're spreading your cheeks all over and ruining everybody else's experience.
We do need a brand of movie theater that caters to people like you.
Wow.
That demand a little bit
It's
more.
the status quo. Man,
and then I can just go to every other theater that will make more money because they just let everyone come as they are. Because
I
we
think
love
exact
God's
opposite.
children.
I think people pay more for that extra
They
protection.
will pay like 12 people will pay a
Who
premium,
has
and
to
the
shush
theater
them?
won't be
Who
full.
doesn't who likes shushing people? I don't want to be a shusher.
Then don't shush them and let them live their lives.
If they don't want to be shushed, then maybe they should shush. I don't know. That could be.
I feel that you and I are cut from the same cloth. You know what? I take that back. We're not. You're a whore.
We're closing this show. That's the last question. We got to do a better one. Let's see. Okay, horror fan. What is the scariest movie you have seen?
Ooh, Babadook was very good.
Babadook. That's nice.
Very, very good. Funny
That's what I liked
Games
about Batman.
is
He
a
was like
different
Babadook.
kind of scary,
Mm.
where like that really made you feel terrified for the real world. And then like The Shining creates the best environment with the Overlook Hotel.
Yeah. Have you been there?
No.
Do you want to go there?
Yeah.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Let's rent a room and we'll film it.
Okay.
I'm serious.
When you were talking about bad
How
date
far
nights,
is it to
I was
get there?
picturing like that one room in the Overlook, honestly.
How far? Let's see.
It's in Colorado, right?
We gotta see if we can do this.
Stanley Hotel,
here we
Colorado.
go.
Yep.
Well, we should look at directions first, I guess. Colorado's not too far either way.
No.
8 hours, it's not bad.
Oh, it's at the top. Yeah, we just popped through Wyoming. Yeah.
Oh, we can go to Rollins and stay at the penitentiary too. That's where you know Rollins? Have we talked about?
No.
Where are you from? You're from here?
No, I'm from Pennsylvania.
Oh,
I drove through
Wait, why
that
did-
exact street when I came to
Do you just come here
Utah.
for college?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna? Oh no, well, you're looking at like staying here permanently, I
Yeah.
guess, then right?
Mhm. Yeah, I'm happy. Utah's
Nice.
all right.
Yeah. Let's see. Rollins is this place, which
Okay.
is literally like a one-horse town, probably like half a horse. Look, the fountain and the trains. That's the only iconic thing that they have to show you.
Okay.
It's rough. I think.
Is this your hometown? Is that what we're looking?
Mhm.
What? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Small
cool.
Wyoming town.
I was like, is that from a movie somewhere that I'm supposed to
no,
recognize? Am
but
I-
Viggo Mortensen started a movie there called Penitentiary.
Oh.
Utah.
Okay.
I mean, Rollins had the first state penitentiary there.
Okay.
And so there's lots of stories of terrifying things. And on Halloween, they always let you go through and like they have people hiding and stuff. And like it's pretty
I saw,
terrifying. They were the last prison to stop. I think it was hanging or electrocutions. They were rough.
Yeah.
Like Wyoming
One of
was like,
those-
we're California, but we're not fun. You know, like you don't have anything. You don't have ocean.
Mhm.
You can't escape. You just have land and wind. Enjoy. Yeah. I guess that ends the show. Thanks everybody for joining. Cole, where can the people follow you?
Come bring your movie theater takes to @ColeWissinger on Twitter, and then I write for Inca Magazine, inqamag.com.
Very nice. And of course, check out patrickbeattyreviews.com and the Friday film stuff. And yeah, I'm tired.
Watch your
We went through a
promos
lot
on
of-
We
went through a lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
I think
we got
bonded.
more to go. We can
There's
continue
some
this next
bonding.
week.
There's a lot. I figured we should probably close out after a few, but we got through a lot. Weird Al fans unite. We can do a whole episode
Let's
about that.
go.
We'll see y'all later.